Live your vandalism dreams and tag every surface available in the sequel, Sludge Life 2. This adventure exploration game will set you off on a quest to vandalize surfaces, find your friend, and assist citizens of Siggy City. We play as Ghost, a tagging aficionado and manager of a famed rapping frog. You wake up and after barfing your guts out, you'll see you're in a hotel room of Siggy City Suites, and you need to find your froggy friend and client Big Mud, who has disappeared and is set to record. And with that, you're off. Parkour your way through this sludge-filled, definitely post-apocalyptic world. Sludge Life 2 does not hold your hand, which I think is par for the course in exploration-focused games like this title. Instead, you'll have to think creatively as you explore the pretty but poorly managed hotel and its surrounding city, where many citizens live inside shipping containers, and not in the cute HD TV home renovation way. For the most part, all the exploration was easy to figure out and rewarding in that feeling of discovery. Like sneaking into the police station, which I managed through jumping into a window in the back of the building, and only later realized there was more than one method to get in. The game's environment lives up to its name, and while it's perfectly on theme, I didn't feel too inspired at first to explore this concrete and pollution-filled maze. But once you get into the gameplay loop starting at the hotel, which was much more visually pleasing to the eye, you just can't stop tagging. To aid your low-level crime endeavors, you'll pick up a variety of items. However, I will say that the items' use isn't immediately obvious for all of them, especially for the vandal eyes. In fact, if I hadn't had a guide, I would have assumed they were a gag item. But if you want 100% all the tags with less struggle, the vandal eyes are what helps you find tags that you might have missed. Other items to aid you include illegal jumping shoes, a poison protective helmet, and a glider, to name a few. You'll also get a second layer of gameplay that's actually through the menu system. Press escape and you'll pull up a laptop home screen to not just adjust your options in the menu, of course, but you can play games that you'll pick up from characters, keep track of your number of tags, and a bevy of other applications and files that will begin to populate as you pick up side quests. Overall, I would say that the exploration element was very fun and only started to drag a bit when I tried to 100% the tags, at which point I called it quits because I didn't want to sour my experience. Now, another major element and selling point of Sludge Life 2 is the host of unique characters that you'll meet. I have to admit that their personalities weren't very interesting or funny to me, but I think it's because I'm just not the right audience for this humor, and that's totally fine. Regardless, each character you meet reveals more about the messed up world ruined by corporate greed, along with some small moral choices that you can make. Siggy City is indeed all about cigarettes and just in general vices. Everywhere you look, there's ads for smoking, people asking for a smoke, checked out people doing mushrooms, and bottles upon bottles of alcohol. Yet, it was the advertising to kids for cigarettes that felt like the most direct messaging about how awful the businesses of this world are, which isn't far from our reality with young children and vaping. And I'm sure that this was not an accidental connection. So, while I wasn't crazy about the world I was in, I see how it all connects to the larger order ideas about unchecked greed in businesses, pollution, and societal collapse. And I really appreciated the game's endeavor to tackle such massively important issues. But don't worry, it's not all moral quandaries or political things, if that's even political. You'll have your shit-skidding kids, your pigeon trance circles, and tiny-headed camera people to enjoy. There's also a unique bunch of characters that are fellow taggers, some of whom recognize you from the previous game. Meeting them opens up opportunities for combo tags, which I assume was the times I tagged alongside their art, combining our iconographies for the ultimate graffiti experience. Okay, time to address the potential elephant in the room, the visual design. I can't say that I'm personally a big fan of the art style, but what I can say is that it's very well executed. Sludge Life 2 rides the fine line between style and clarity, and I personally found that if you remove the VHS tape lines, which is one of the options you can do in the menu system, your eyes should comfortably enjoy the rest of the game. But damn, did this game's art really ride the line for me. In fact, it kinda reminded me of A Short Hike, which I love, but we must admit, a bit rough on the eyes. As for the music, I'm happy to report it's all toe-tapping, head-bobbing goodness, as Big Mud mumble raps his way into your earwormed brain. In all seriousness, the music was chill but good, and like I've said on repeat at this point, matches the game's theme perfectly. For the final touch, the options menu has a plethora for you to fiddle around with. Many of your standards like adjusting the shadows, adjusting the light, thankfully adjusting the camera or cursor sensitivity, options for gamepad, and a few unique ones as well. You can determine whether your character is vegan or not, whether they pee while standing, whether they enjoy spam, or whether they're a dog lover, which, okay. All in all, I think Sludge Life 2 is a fun game that, if you're a fan of the original, offers more of the same gameplay and style you already love.